Do you believe in witches? Nasty people who cook little children and eat them up? Well, to tell you the truth, neither do I. But in Germany, 100 years ago, people did believe in witches. And they told the story of Hansel and Gretel, two children just like you, who almost became a witch's supper.
A woodcutter lived in a forest in Germany with his two children. Sadly, the children's mother was dead. Their stepmother did not love them, and they were all going hungry.
Listen to me, husband.
Yes? What is it, my dear?
I've been thinking, if we share our food with Hansel and Gretel, there just won't be enough for anyone, so we'll all die.
What?
That means we should keep all the food for ourselves. It makes sense.
It makes sense. Have you gone batty?
Here's what you should do. Take Hansel and Gretel deep into the woods and leave them there. Give them each a crust of bread, but leave them there. Good idea, huh?
That's a crazy idea, and I don't want you talking about it anymore. You're scaring the children. Now, I have to be gone a few days. And while I'm gone, I expect you, my dear wife, to be their mother and see that nothing happens to them. Do you understand?
Oh, yes. Of course, dear. It still makes sense.
Goodbye, Hansel. Goodbye, Gretel. Now, you be good children now, and I'll be back in 2 days.
Bye-bye, Papa. We'll miss you. Hurry back. Leave us in the woods all night? She wouldn't dare.
Remember, Gretel, be brave and keep your eyes open. I've got a plan.
Here's some more pebbles, Hansel. This should be enough, huh?
Uh-oh.
Hey, you two, come over here now. We're going for a little walk.
The stepmother took Hansel and Gretel deep into the woods. All along the way, Hansel dropped a trail of white pebbles.
Now, wait right here. I'm going to go chop some wood.
Please, stepmother, don't leave us.
You heard me. Stay there.
She left us.
I told you so.
Now what?
Be brave and keep your eyes open.
I hate it when you say that.
Look, the trail of pebbles we left behind. If we follow them, we'll find our way back home.
Come on, let's go.
You! How did you get back? Out you go!
No! Ow!
No, wait! Please don't send us into the forest without anything.
Very well. Here's a crust of bread for you, Hansel, and a blanket for you, Gretel. Now let's go!
Once again, the stepmother took Hansel and Gretel deep into the forest. Hansel had no more pebbles, so this time he dropped bits of breadcrumbs to mark their way back home. Again, the stepmother left the children, and again, the children began retracing their way back home. But as they followed the trail of breadcrumbs...
Huh? Hansel, look! Those birds are eating all the breadcrumbs. Shoo, shoo, get away, shoo! Oh, Hansel, the breadcrumbs are all gone.
Uh-oh, now we're really lost.
Hansel, I'm cold.
It'll be dark soon.
What now?
I guess we'll have to wait through the night and try to find our way back in the morning.
What's that?
I think it's a wolf.
Maybe it's a bear.
Whatever it is, it's going away.
Oh my, Hansel, look!
Wow, what is it?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Let's get a closer look.
Oh, it looks like candy.
I'm gonna try some.
Me too.
Yum, this is gingerbread.
With candy in between. Yum.
A whole house made out of gingerbread and candy.
Oh.
Huh?
Well, hello, my little darlings. Welcome to my house.
Who are you?
Me, I'm just the old woman who lives in this gingerbread house. Come in, children. Come in. I have an especially sweet dinner waiting inside for you.
We don't talk to strangers.
Come on, Gretel. She seems nice, and I'm really hungry.
That's right, child, and it's right over there. Everything you like to eat.
Oh, wow! Cookies and strawberry pie! My favorites! Yippee!
Hansel, don't!
Hey! This is a cage! Open up! Let me out!
You let him out!
I may not see very well, but I know how to get what I want. And what I want is children's stew!
For the next few days, the children remained the prisoners of the witch while she fattened them for her stew. They had all they could eat, especially Hansel, because the witch liked to eat plump little boys best of all. One night, Hansel couldn't sleep.
Hansel, are you crying?
No.
Well, stop it. It makes me feel funny. You always said be brave, remember?
But there's nothing I can do. I'm in a cage.
Then I'll have to be brave for both of us.
Gretel, come along now. You must help me prepare the oven so I can cook this big pot of porridge for you and Hansel. Could you clean away that burnt crust way back in the oven? It's way in the back. Go on.
I don't know how.
Of course you do. Just climb in.
How? Show me, then I'll do it.
Huh? You're a stupid girl, aren't you? Like this. You crawl in like... You're trying to trick me into the oven instead of you, huh? Well, you're the one going in the oven. No, children's stew, nothing better than... Huh? You come back here, you little... What?
Gretel, get the key for the cage!
Now, where is that girl?
Here I am, Witchy. I've changed my mind. I like being children's stew. Won't I taste yummy?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's a good girl. Now, we'll just put you right into the oven. Yes. Oh, children's stew, and nothing better than children's stew. Huh? I don't smell any girl cooking. Huh?
Oh, it's hot in here, Witchy. I'm cooking real good.
No, something's wrong. I should smell you cooking. Oh, parsley and dill. I forgot the parsley and dill. I better check.
Yeah, that's it. I don't see any parsley or dill in here with me.
Oh, that's hot. Now, let's see here. What could be this? Huh? Where'd she go?
I'm right behind you, Witchy. Close the ledge, Hansel!
You saved our lives, Gretel! Watch out! Let's get out of here!
She's dead.
Hansel! Gretel!
Papa? Papa!
And so Hansel and Gretel were reunited with their father. As for the stepmother, well, after the woodcutter found out what she had done, he sent her away. She was never heard from again. From then on, Hansel and Gretel and their father lived happily together. They were still poor, but their father always found work. And so they never went hungry again, and never, ever ran out of candy.
What makes a story a Hansel and Gretel story? Well, it's not just Hansel and Gretel themselves. In fact, there's nobody by that name in our next fairy tale. In the land of Syria, people tell the story of a whole family who get kidnapped and somebody tries to fatten them all up and eat them. That's what makes it a Hansel and Gretel story.
A woodcutter lived at the edge of the Arabian desert. He was a mean and stubborn man. He would never listen to what his wife had to say. One day, a rich caravan was passing by. A golden litter stopped right in front of the woodcutter. Its curtains parted, revealing a beautiful princess inside.
Oh, brother, how good to see you. You must come to my palace with your whole family. I will feed you all well, and you will live like a king.
The woodcutter had no idea who she was. He had no sister, but he couldn't pass up an offer of food and riches.
Please say yes, dear brother, for I'm lonely and I miss you so.
So the woodcutter agreed. He took his wife, their 10 children, and their faithful cow to the palace of the mysterious princess. They were given a richly furnished house to live in, and at meals they were served the most delicious delicacies of the land. The woodcutter's family ate and grew fatter and fatter on the princess's food. Of course, the problem was, the princess wasn't anyone's sister. In fact, she wasn't even human. She was a monster, so bloodthirsty that she ate human flesh. She was fattening up the woodcutter's family so she could eat them. That night, the monster crept up to the door of the family's house. She was just about to sneak inside when she felt something grab her backside. It was the woodcutter's cow.
What? Oh, husband, wake up! Wake up!
What is it now?
A monster! A monster! It's trying to get in the house. The cow is fighting with it. Oh, please get up and help.
Go back to bed. You are only dreaming.
No, it's true. You must get up.
Silence! Go to sleep.
The next morning, the princes came to their door.
Dear brother, I would like some beef for dinner. May I kill your cow?
What? No, not our cow.
Oh, shut up, woman. The cow is old, and if the princess wishes it, she shall have it.
And so the faithful cow was killed, and they all had beef for dinner.
Tonight the monster will kill us all, and my husband does nothing to save us.
Go to sleep, stupid wife. There is no monster.
When the woodcutter was asleep, his wife gathered up her 10 children, all their belongings, and left. So they got away. But the stubborn woodcutter was not so lucky. And he was never heard from again.
Sometimes when you're trapped and you feel like you might get hurt, you just have to escape, and you have to do it yourself. The woodcutter learned that lesson the hard way. But what if you're just too scared? What if you think there's nothing you can do? In the Philippines, people tell a story about a boy named Pedro who thought he would never get away.
Pedro was a little boy who lived in the Philippines. Outside his house, the land was beautiful, but Pedro stayed inside because he was afraid. He was afraid that one day he would open the door and there would be a monster on the other side. That was Pedro's great big fear, number one. One day, though, Pedro's parents went away and left him in the house all alone. And then there was a knock on the door. And when he opened the door, there was a monster outside. It was Boroka. She had the head of a witch, the wings of a bird, and the legs of a horse. Worst of all, she ate children.
You look delicious.
Then she snatched Pedro and flew away with him. She took him to her nest in the mountains. Every evening, Boroka would take a red handkerchief and pull out a single thread. That thread would burst into flame and light her fire. Next, Boroka would take a white handkerchief and squeeze it over a pitcher. Pure water would drip down and fill the pitcher. Finally, using the fire and water, she would cook a big supper for Pedro and force him to eat every bite. Pedro began getting plump. Soon, he would be plump enough for Boroka to eat. So he decided to try and escape. She was so surprised that she fell over and dropped the colored handkerchiefs. Pedro grabbed them both and jumped out of the nest. Pedro ran as fast as he could, and he could run pretty fast. But Boroka summoned more monsters from all over the world. Hundreds of monsters ran after Pedro and flew after him and crawled after him and jumped after him. Pedro threw down the red handkerchief, and it turned into a fire that burned the wings of the monsters. But they kept on coming out of the ashes. Then Pedro threw down the white handkerchief, and it turned into a tidal wave, and all the monsters drowned. Thank goodness. Pedro found his parents, and they were glad to be together again. Pedro learned a good lesson, too. He had faced his great big fear, number one. and he was still alive, there was nothing left to be afraid of.
You see, it doesn't matter if you're scared. You can still make things better if you keep on trying. This is Pat Morita, and I don't believe in witches, and you don't have to either.
Britannica's Tales Around the World takes us on a magical journey through enchanting tales told to children from the four corners of the globe. And our guide is everyone's favorite, Pat Morita. Our adventure begins when he selects a country, like this one.
In Nigeria, people tell a story in which the fairy godmother is not a woman. In fact, as you'll see, this fairy godmother isn't even human.
Each program takes us to 3 different countries to experience stories from 3 different cultures. Each program begins with a familiar, well-loved children's tale. Just about everyone knows the story of Hansel and Gretel as it's told to children in Germany. But we learn that there's more than one way to tell a tale. In the Philippines, they tell a similar story, where the witch is Boroka, who carries children off to her nest in the mountains. And in a story from Syria, they tell of a beautiful princess who is really a witch in disguise. All 3 of these stories use the same classic ideas, and yet all 3 are magically different. It's 3 times the wonder, 3 times the imagination, 3 times the fun. This beautifully animated series of children's videos brings to life the beloved and enchanting classics Hansel and Gretel, Sleeping Beauty, Rumpelstiltskin, Cinderella, Rapunzel, and Beauty and the Beast. Each of these classic tales is told 3 different ways, each version from a different part of the world. Journey to China, where a magical parrot must save a beautiful maiden from an evil sorcerer. Visit Norway and learn how St. Olaf tricked a dangerous troll. Meet the King of the Frogs in an enchanting tale from the Hausa tribe of Nigeria. Cross the Arctic Ocean and discover how an Eskimo girl named Sedna became a goddess. Explore India and discover the secret of the petrified palace. Venture into a dark cave in Israel and face Ishbi-Benob, the giant who was bigger than Goliath. In Italy, learn the prophecy of the baby princess Talia. See Maria, a little girl from Chile, get a magical star on her forehead. And witness a battle of magic on the island of Malta. All here, a rich international blend of action and mystery, laughter and romance that can only come from tales chosen from around the world. So look for all 6 programs and let Britannica's Tales Around the World bring a world of magic and imagination to you.
After all, it happened to me.